the President of Nigeria to St. Lucia. On behalf of the OECS heads of government, I want to thank him for taking time off to be with us. This morning, we held a joint session of Parliament where you heard from the President on his vision for the future relationships between the OECS and Nigeria. We held a high-level luncheon where the President outlined to us how the OECS would benefit from the country of Nigeria. To this effect, we have formed a joint committee which will comprise members of the Nigerian government and members of the OECS government. We have formed a joint committee which will comprise members of the Nigerian government and members of the OECS to deal with some pressing issues: education, air travel, trade, and tourism. These 4 issues will be the topics that the joint committee, comprising of members of the Nigerian government and members of the St. Lucian government. Our discussions were very fruitful, and I want to thank the President for agreeing so we can have some instant results from our meeting this morning. And again, on behalf of the OECS, I want to thank the President for his incisiveness and his wanting for our 2 countries, for our 2, St. Lucia and the OECS and Nigeria, for us to get closer together for the shared benefits of our people. As you know, we share a common history, we share a common identity, and we share a common culture. And our 2 countries will strengthen these relations, the OECS and Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I will now take 2 questions from the...
To reciprocate such gesture to strengthen mutual ties. And how soon can that be?
Well, in fact, at the joint meeting, we discussed that, and there are some islands in the OECS, St. Kitts, where there are no visa requirements. What we said is that committee will deal with all these issues, and the first on the agenda will be the people, which will come with the visa requirements. But is the first topic on the agenda for discussion. So we hope to have a speedy answer to that at the soonest possible opportunity.
Okay, so I now invite 1 question from a local media house.
From St. Lucia, please.
Okay. You can use the microphone, please.
Obviously, the President's visit is a first step. How soon should we see those plans unfolding? And also, in more specific terms, the scholarship component?
Well, I am very pleased that the President immediately instructed that a committee should be formed, or will be formed. That is going to happen almost immediately. We've named our OECS side, and the President has named his Nigerian side. We expect the scholarships to happen in the next academic year. We expect students to be studying in Nigeria in the next academic year, based on the fact that the President has instructed that that should happen, and the committee will deal with it. So in the next year, we expect the scholarships to begin. Before, we have immediate action. the Director General of the OECS will meet with the Private Secretary of the President to put that committee together. The names have already been mentioned. The folks involved have already been identified. In fact, it's possibly the first time that we've had such immediate action to form a committee immediately. That happened today. So I want to tell you that we are buoyed by that. And I'm sure with the President's instructions and the President's goodwill and the way he has expressed his desire to help the region, we expect immediate and tangible results, particularly what the President calls the low-hanging fruits, which in that case would be the scholarships and the visa requirements. We expect that to happen almost immediately, as I said, probably within the next academic year as far as the scholarships are concerned.
Thank you very much. I believe we can take advantage of our presence in Parliament and ready to actualize our, dreams of getting closer to facilitate, business opportunities, education opportunity, capacity building, and look at other areas of agriculture and food security. We can easily do that by having, a working commission. And we don't have to look further away. The organization themselves, they've indicated the number of, actually, the Director General of the OECS. We work with my personal private secretary. The name of those we needed has been indicated, and we are moving forward from there. We won't drop the ball.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will now open the floor for the final question from the Solution Press.
Ryan Daisy again. Yes, I know we spoke about as well low-hanging fruit, those areas that we can attack quickly. What would be one of the more difficult, or some of the more difficult areas to tackle?
I don't look at difficulties. I look at problem solving. And that is why the working lunch promoted that quick understanding of what could be your expectation of difficulty. I just a little melting point in bureaucracy. If we work less and take a geometric definition of straight line, which is the quickest point between 2 points. So if we move on a straight line, we get our goal achieved quicker, and there will be no problems.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this press briefing.
Thank you.